Good evening, everybody in YouTube world. This is the one we've all been waiting for, possibly the most eagerly anticipated MMA fight, certainly that I can remember anyway. John Jones versus Daniel Cormier at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. We're going to run down the card quickly. We're going to try something a little bit new to what we normally do, where we waffle on for 3 hours, 4 hours, and bore you all to tears. This is hopefully going to be a quick 10-minute or less video as we break down, fight by fight, this week's main events. So let's kick it off. The first fight on the card is going to be Evan Dunham versus Rodrigo Dam. Chris, do you want to kick us off with how you think this is going to go?
Yeah, I think Evan Dunham, he's going to take this. He's a pro. He's experienced. I looked at his last 3 losses, and I know he's got 3 losses, but they're two high-level guys, and I think Rodrigo Dam is on the level that he can take. I like Dam on The Ultimate Fighter Brazil, but he's not going to do it. He's traveling. Dunham's a pro, and he's not on the same level.
I agree. Cody, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm also taking Dunham. You look at his last losses, there's 3 in a row, but all of them are to the top contenders in the division, bar Khabib. Damn, he's not as good pretty much anywhere. I mean, he's probably got better textbook jiu-jitsu, but not applicable. It's not going to matter in this situation. Dunham takes it.
No. Scotty, talk to me.
I think Dunham beat the last time we see Dam in the UFC as well.
Ooh, that's a big call. Yeah, I'm going to agree. There's going to be no disagreement for me on this one. Dunham is stronger wherever it goes, and this is going to be the first of quite a few, I think, straightforward wins on this card. Second up, we've got Sean Jordan and Gerard Cannonier. I think I'm saying that correctly. Sean Jordan's got a couple of decent wins, including LeVar Johnson and Pat Barry. Cannonier is a bit of an unknown. He's coming from the Alaska Fight Championships. Fights out of Gracie Barra out in Alaska. It's his UFC debut. I've got to give this one to Sean Jordan. Chris?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I have a strong rule. I never pick the guy who doesn't have a Wikipedia page. So, unfortunately, you know what all my picks are going to be for the next 3 fights.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jordan. I feel like he was getting picked as a real prospect, and he's had a lot of setbacks. And I think some of that messed with his head. And I think this is a get him back on track fight. They need heavyweights with some that they can put on a main card, and he really needs to be there.
Cody.
Yeah, you're right that Jared's kind of like an unknown. I haven't seen him fight. I'm gonna have to go with Sean Jordan just because I've seen him fight because he has UFC experience, and this is gonna be Jared's first fight in the UFC, and not to mention he's coming out of Alaska, which isn't exactly a state known for its great mixed martial arts bar. Who's the most popular fighter there? Cody McKenzie, at least as far as I know. So
who's now retired?
Who's now retired? He's a great fighter. I like the guy, but still, that's the most well-known fighter. I'm going with Sean Jordan.
Fair play, fair play. Scotty.
I agree. I'm going with Sean Jordan. I think the lads are right. I think this is a fight to give it to Sean Jordan so he can get back on track, so that he can have another, I wouldn't say young face, but another face in the division that people can know and build upon, and someone they have just to get another face in the mix. So I'm going with Sean Jordan.
Yeah, I think for the whole of the prelim card, I think we're probably all going to be pretty unanimous on how all of these are going to be going.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Marcus Brimage and Cody Garbrandt. I hope I'm saying that one correctly again as well. It's a UFC debut for Garbrandt. Brimage takes this quite comfortably, I imagine.
Dead in the water. New weight class, head kick knockout, and he's got the momentum. He looked great. He's going to do it.
Fair play, Cody.
Maybe this will be the Walt Harris of the night. No, you know what? I would love to root for Cody just because we have the same name. But Marcus Brimage trains with Goku and Vegeta and all them, so I'm going to go with him because he has the Super Saiyan advantage, of course. All
right, sweet. Let's hear what you got to say, Scotty.
It's straight ahead. I think Marcus Brimage is going to win this fight.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I'm pretty sure we're all going to go the same for the whole of the prelim card. Next up on the prelim card, we've got Castillo and Felder. Felder is 9-0, coming off a win against Jason Sago at UFC Fight Night. McDonald versus Safadine, but Team Alpha Male, Castillo. having a great year. And although Castillo's got a little bit of an indifferent record, he's got some great names on it. He's got Cerrone, Lamas, Pettis, Poirier, Stevenson, Volkwer, Sas, Barbosa. He is coming off a loss to Tony Ferguson. I think he's just got far too much experience at this level. Castillo gets the win for me. Chris?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Castillo's another one of these guys who, I'm looking at he only loses to people with experience and skill. And, this guy, he's just not – I think they want Castillo to be back on the main card. He came really close with the Barbosa fight, and I think he's being built back up into a mid-level contender. I don't know what his ceiling is.
Yeah, I'm not even actually sure where he's in terms of the rankings. Actually, I didn't even check before we had a look. But yeah, he's just one of those solid guys that you can sort of rely on to always turn up, I think, isn't it? Cody?
Oh, man. Again, with a name like the Irish Dragon, it's hard to root against him. But yeah. And he's undefeated, too, so he's got a really good record. All of them are either TKOs, or all of his wins are TKO or decision, most of them by TKO or straight KO. But I'm going to go with Danny Castillo for the reasons aforementioned, and also I'm going to say he's going to finish him, not by knockout, not by TKO, he's going to finish him by submission. Look out for the arm triangle by Danny Last Call Castillo.
No worries. Right, Chris has got to go. Thanks for joining us for the 3.5 minutes that we got you. We'll see you on another preview.
You guys are really nice. Thank you for accommodating me. It was really nice to pop in, and I don't know, maybe I'll see you again Friday or something. You guys doing a weigh-in show?
Yeah, we're doing the weigh-ins on Friday. You're more than welcome to join us.
Dude, thank you so much. You guys have been really nice. Have a great one.
No worries. In a bit, Chris. Scott, talk to me. Where are you going on Castillo and Felder?
It's hard to pick against a guy with a nickname from my home country, but I really like Danny Castillo. I think he might have, I don't think he won the decision, but a few people thought he might have got the decision over Tony Ferguson. I think he's a very good fighter. He puts everything together well, but I still think Danny Castillo is going to win this fight.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't know how. I haven't seen much of Paul Fielder, so he might get a submission. He's pretty slick on the ground.
Moving on straight into the main card. Oh, sorry, mate. I thought you'd finished. Moving on straight into the main card. This is a fight I'm looking forward to because I like watching Hector Lombard wherever he turns up. He's one of my favourite fighters. He's a nasty son of a bitch, and he fights like he just insulted his mum. He's an absolute nightmare in the welterweight division. I don't think Berkman has been dealing with fighters anywhere near this level in World Series of Fighting. This is going to be Lombard by murder, I think. Cody?
I think Josh Berkman's an underrated fighter. He's got very impressive wins. Almost his last. I mean, let's look at his last wins. He got John Fitch, Aaron Simpson, Gerald Harris, Jamie Yeager, which is a familiar name, but not one known for his expertise in mixed martial arts. He fought Jordan Meade, but he lost. Anyway, all that aside, Hector Lombard wins by, as you said, murder. Of course, none other.
Scotty?
I like Josh Berkman. I was really impressed when he got the win over John Fitch. I really don't like John Fitch. I think Hector Lombard is going to absolutely destroy him. I think this is the fight the UFC has given Hector Lombard so he can put it on his highlight reel when he fights. I think his next fight has to be for a title chance.
I think there's a good chance.
Yeah,
with the trilogy of Hendricks and Lawler. I think there's a very good chance that they might go. McDonald, it seems like you're not fighting anyone for the next few months.
That's an interesting fight. See, Rory McDonald's he puts together strategies well, and I think it'll be interesting to see how he deals with Hector Lombard.
Lombard's scary. He's just such an aggressive fighter, which, that's fighting. This is where we might start to get a couple of splits in our predictions at the moment. Horiguchi and Gordino. Horiguchi is currently 11th in the rankings, and he's been talked up for a little bit for a title shot, which might sound a little bit early. You've got to remember Mighty Mouse has completely cleaned out the division. If he beats Gordino, I think he's going to be within touching distance of a title shot, and I think there's also a bit of an ulterior motive there with the UFC, as if Horiguchi goes over to Japan as a title contender, that's a fight that they can sell over there. Any thoughts, Cody?
No, I'm with you on that. I'm all about Horiguchi. Anytime a Japanese fighter or any Asian fighter, for that matter, is fighting the UFC, I'm pretty much rooting for them by default, especially if they're Japanese, just because just for nostalgic reasons and because I like their culture and so on, especially in regards to MMA. I thought Lewis was impressive in his last fight, and against John Lineker especially, but. Uh, I don't think he's on Horiguchi's level. I got Horiguchi in this one, probably by decision.
Scott.
I agree once again. We're all going the one way. I really like Horiguchi. I think he looked really impressive over his victory over the Mongoose, Darren Montag. I think that's a great victory. And that alone, I think the Mongoose, I look at him as maybe top 5 in the division to come. And I think that when I look at that win, and I look at, I can't pronounce his name, Lewis. I think that.
I'm thinking it's Godino.
Godino. It sounds like a Zelda villain or something.
That's why I just said Lewis.
I go on by Horiguchi by knockout.
Wow.
In the first.
Okay, so I think that might be the first time we've ever got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights into the card, and we are 100% in agreement about how this is going to go. I think we need to put some money on this. Right, here's the final 3, and I'm certain we are not going to agree on the outcome of these next 3. We've got Brad Tavares and Nate Marquardt. This is the first of the 3 main card fights that I think we are going to be completely split on. I'm going to take Brad Tavares, and I'm not going to back you up. I'm just going to say that's going to take it. Cody.
Finally, we meet some something words. I disagree. I'm definitely taking Nate, the great Marquardt, in this one. He's been not just because I like the guy, but because he looked really good against James Cejudo, which I was really pleased to see, especially given the fact that he just got knocked out by Ellenberger and Lombard prior to that. Tavares, he's a solid middleweight, often underranked, I think, just by the general public, not necessarily by the UFC or the UFC rankings for that matter. But a loss to Yoel Romero, especially by decision, is nothing to frown upon. The only thing is he kind of had a setback in the Boach fight, but again, I'm going Nate the Great, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tavares took this one by decision.
Yeah, totally. Like I said, these 3, I see these as splitting us. These are very close fights. These are 3 great fights, actually, for the top of this bill. Scott.
Yeah, I'm going Nate the Great. I think this is going to be fight of the night. Put money on it. I think it's going to be back and forth in the feet. I don't think either guy's going to take this down. I think either guy's going to look at each other and say, yeah, I can strike with that guy. But it's going to be a scrap, but I'm taking Nate the Great.
Calling any fight on this card as I think it's going to be fight of the night is pretty ballsy, mate, I think, because
this is fight of the night.
I look at the main event, I go, that could be fight of the night. I look at Cerrone and Jury, that could be fight of the night. Tavares, Marquardt, that could be fight of the night. Horiguchi and Gardino, that could be fight of the night. Lombard and Bertman, that could be fight of the night. The whole main card is awesome. The whole main card is absolutely, it's just perfect. It's one of them.
It's a really good
This card I am so excited for.
I can't wait.
The next one, Donald Cerrone. Is this his 5th fight in 12 months? Or 4th fight in 12 months? I haven't even looked. I just know that
probably
it's very good to go.
It won't be. It'll be his 5th fight in 12 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Miles Jury opened his mouth. Cerrone's seen his ass and wants to put him back in his place. I'm gonna let you 2 talk before I decide who I'm going for. Cody.
I got Cowboy in this one. Probably by decision. I don't really see him being able to finish Miles Jury. Nobody has. The worst we've seen of Jury is his decision loss to Ally Aquinta on The Ultimate Fighter. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Miles Jury's coming out fight, because he's been really impressive, especially against Ramsey in the gym. And Gomi's past his prime, but he still took out a legend. There's still a lot of fire left in the Fireball Kid. Diego Sanchez, he looked amazing against him, and Mike Ricci is also another severely underrated lightweight, I believe. But still, Donald Cerrone, I think he's on another level, regardless of how impressive Miles Jury has looked I would love to say Miles Jury wins this fight, especially since I'm a huge fan of his fighting style, but I just can't choose him. I think Cerrone's on another level.
Sweet. Scott?
Yeah, I'm going with Miles Jury on this one. I think this is going to be his coming out party. I think this is the fight where everyone looks at Miles Jury and said, wow, this kid has something. I hope he doesn't prove me wrong, but I think Miles Jury is the future of the lightweight division. I really do. I think he puts everything together so well. Since his fight with Ramsey Nijum, he looked ordinary, but in the 3 fights since that, I think he's come on so well. His striking is pretty good. His jiu-jitsu is slick. I think he's just gonna out-slick Cowboy. I like Cowboy. Traditionally, when it comes to the last one, he usually loses. But don't get me wrong, Cowboy could catch him. Cowboy is a bad motherfucker. But I'm going for Miles Jury on this one.
I'm so torn. On one hand, I think Cowboy's experience would see him through and probably give him the win. And in some cases, you think he's fought about 5 times in 12 months, that's a good thing, but that might not be a good thing. I'm going to go with Miles Jury to sneak a decision out of this, and I'm going to say this is going to be an absolute war, and I can't wait. This will be great. This is going to be a serious fight. This is going to be bloodbath, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Moving us on to the main event, we've got the previews alone of this.
Who's fighting again on the main event?
There's 2 lads, American.
He's got him.
Oh, boring.
Yeah, just
Oh,
it's a title or something.
Wrestlers.
Yeah, wrestlers.
No one wants to see this shit.
The worst.
No, only everyone. John Jones.
My stomach hurts. I'm that excited.
Daniel Cormier. Essentially 2 undefeated monsters colliding. The 3 key factors of this fight, we think, as we discussed earlier, wrestling, range, and the X factor. Run down who you think's got the upper hand, if you like, in those 3 key factors. Cody, how do you think the fight's going to end up?
I think John Jones made a good point in a recent interview that if you listen to Daniel Cormier, you listen to John Jones, just to the lead up into the fight, you're probably going to think that Daniel Cormier is winning because he's a superior rhetorician than John Jones is. He's slicker with his words. He puts them together in a more believable sense. He's more believable listening to than John Jones is. And he certainly has a really good chance to win this fight. He definitely has better wrestling than John Jones. That without a doubt. The only question is, can he get inside John Jones's range in order to close the distance and actually grab hold of him to use and apply that wrestling and the subsequent beatdown on the ground or control or maybe even submission attempt if we're lucky, if the stars align right. But I don't see him, unfortunately, as a DC fan, being able to get through the range of Jones. This is the
Hello, you there?
A fighter.
Scott, you there?
Yeah, I thought that was me.
Oh,
Am I
No, I think Cody's just.
probably the
I'm just trying to mute him. I don't know if I've muted him.
the best discrepancy. It's that third biggest.
It's still going.
Hello.
Cody, you there?
Are you there?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
just
Cody, you did me there for a second.
Right.
Yeah,
Am I good now?
it went a bit crazy.
You did a
Am I good now?
Recap what you just said.
Man, it was the best part. I was doing great.
It was really enjoying that
where did I
fight as
leave
well.
off? Where did I leave off?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh, did I even
It
start?
just kind of went like.
Ugh, terrible. Okay, I'll summarize bullet points here. Man, that was a really good one too. Y'all are missing out. All right. Anyway, I'm saying DC has the better wrestling. He's gonna need to get inside John Jones's range, but I don't see him being able to do that. Is the third largest, as the stats say, third largest reach discrepancy in the history of the UFC, and he's going against a guy who probably or arguably uses his reach and length better than anyone in the history of mixed martial arts, arguably. I'm just going to throw that out there. So stylistically speaking, as far as striking is concerned, he doesn't have the lateral movement necessary to take away his straight kicks and so on and so forth, stuff like that. His boxing might be able to get the range better. He has more power than John Jones does. He has. I think if DC wins, it's gonna be by flash knockout, like in the Bigfoot fight. I don't see him winning by any other method. Maybe a close 5-round decision if he's able to get inside, but I just don't see him being able to do that. So I got John Jones by decision.
Cool, Scott.
I don't know if you guys read Jack Slack's piece on this fight.
No.
No.
Yes.
I would advise anyone who has not read it to check it out. It's a very interesting look at how people would deny John Jones his striking range from his kicks. John Jones has good boxing, but it's not out of this world. John Jones sets up a lot of his boxing with the fear of his clinch takedowns and his kicks. Now, Alexander Gustafsson, he just forward like a lot of John Jones adversaries have. I don't think John Jones is going to be able to do what he usually does to people to Daniel Cormier. The big factor in this fight I don't think anyone is talking about, and I was surprised that Jack Slack did. I'm not saying Jack Slack doesn't know what he's talking about. Obviously he does. What I'm saying is leg kicks. You see the size of Daniel Cormier's legs compared to John Jones's legs. If Daniel Cormier is training for this fight and if Daniel Cormier does not throw a leg kick in this fight, he does not deserve to win. He should not be worried about getting taken down. I think he really, really can fuck him up with leg kicks and then take him down. We were able to see that Gustafsson was able to get the inside on Jones by using foot movement and stifling him, where Jones kept his front leg. If you read the Jack Slack piece, you'll see breakdown. But I think if he does want to stand him, I think he can beat him up with leg kicks. But I see Daniel Cormier having no problem at all on taking John Jones down. He won't power double him. He'll get him. He'll turn the corner. He'll drag him to the ground. I see Daniel Cormier dominating this fight. Maybe I'm just buying into the hype, but I think he is John Jones' kryptonite. This guy is the most elite athlete we've seen in the UFC in a long time. I think people are, as he said, people are going to wake up on Sunday morning and go, how did he make it look so easy?
So you're backing Cormier, so we've got one for Cormier, one for Jones.
Yeah.
So decide goes to me. Okay. Right.
Tiebreaker.
Wrestling. DC's got the wrestling. No argument. I think Jones is the kind of cat that when he's backed into a corner and people tell him that he's not good in a certain area, he probably wants to prove them wrong. So I'm going to say Jones comes out and tries to out-wrestle Cormier to prove a point. I'm not going to say that's going to be successful. I just think that you're going to see that. I think you're going to see him try and initiate a takedown and try and stay on top. Like I said, whether or not that's successful, I couldn't tell you. We'll have to see how it goes down on Saturday. Range. Massive, massive, massive factor, and I think his speed at using that range is going to be a factor as well. As you both touched upon, Cormier's boxing, it relies heavily on a rush, and I think that's how I can see this fight being won in a bit of a flash knockout, as Cody said. I think Cormier is going to rush Jones, he's going to push him up against the cage, and he's going to look to put his hands on him. And I think there's a chance that's going to happen, but the chance is also that he's going to get caught with something on the way in, an uppercut, something crazy like that, a knee maybe, especially with how high John Jones can get his knees. The X factor for this fight comes down to who's willing to fight the hardest. And I'm going to give this first 2 rounds, John Jones. He's going to stick and move, he's going to keep him away a little bit, and he's going to land some shots. As the fight progresses, you're going to see Cormier come into this. I think he's going to score takedowns. I think he's going to score hits. I think he's going to score damaging punches. And I'm going to say a controversial split decision for Daniel Cormier to be the new light heavyweight champion and
Sure,
start
sure.
off another trilogy in the UFC. I think that's what's going to go down. Either way, I cannot wait. This is. I almost don't want to go to bed until it comes on because I'm so excited for it. So yeah, I'm going to split us. I'm going to say Cormier by split decision, and bring it on.
You know what the worst thing about that is going to be?
What's that?
Is that we're going to have an immediate rematch. Another immediate rematch, and then if Jones wins, we're going to have another immediate rematch.
That's why I think it's going to happen. Not necessarily going to want it to happen. I just think that's how it's going to go down. Cormier, a controversial win, immediate rematch, and then, yeah, like I said.
That's going to be like the biggest upside for Jones winning in my case, because since I'm rooting for DC, if Jones does win, it prevents the whole immediate rematch and trilogy scenario.
Unless it's a split. If it's a split decision, they might go for it. Anyway, that was our 10-minute preview that we managed to squeeze into only 25 minutes. So we're getting, it was a lot better than we thought than we usually are.
Cutting it down.
With the 10-minute ones, we will get down to some short videos that you can share and not have to like book a day off work to watch. Thanks for watching. Make sure you get your comments in below. Please like the video if you watch the video. It really helps us with metrics and SEO and all that sort of stuff and helps us get found. Comment, subscribe, and keep watching us. We have about 5 or 6 shows go out every week. Yesterday we had Carlos Condit on the Carson Corner. This week we've got a fighter that wants to talk about this Friday on the weigh-ins. We've got a fighter that wants to talk about fighting CM Punk, and he wants us to help get the ball rolling for that. So we're going to help him do that. So make sure you tune in. Friday we'll have the weigh-ins. Saturday we'll have the fight companion. Sunday we're going to have the the MMA brothers, and yeah, Monday we have Carson's Corner. So keep it locked to MMA Latest for all your UFC stuff over this weekend and right into 2015 because we have got loads planned. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.